I work in asset protection at a 24-hour Walmart in a small town in Indiana. My job mostly consists of watching live camera feeds, catching shoplifters, and making sure employees aren't sneaking into storage rooms for naps. Nothing glamorous, just hours of sitting in a tiny room surrounded by monitors. I've been doing this for 5 years now, seen everything from teenagers trying to steal condoms to drunk guys stumbling into the wrong bathroom. But what I saw 2 months ago still keeps me up at night. It was around 3:12 a.m. on a Monday. I remember the exact time because I glanced at the clock when I saw him. I was flipping between the camera feeds, just killing time, when something on camera 27 caught my eye. That camera covers the back left corner of the store, usually empty at that hour. But someone was there, a man, tall, wearing a faded black hoodie, with his back to the camera, just standing there. Weird, sure, but not unheard of. I radioed Rick, one of the overnight floor guys, to check it out. He walked over to the area, talking to me the whole time through his walkie. "I'm here," he said. "Nobody's in this aisle." I stared at the feed. The man was still there. "Are you sure?" I asked, sitting up straighter. "Positive. I'm standing right where he should be. No one's here, man." But I saw him. The man was standing less than 10 feet from Rick. I could see Rick on the monitor, clear as day. The man was right behind him. "Rick," I said, my voice suddenly dry. "Turn around." He did. Nothing. "Dude, are you messing with me?" he asked, clearly annoyed. I didn't answer, because at that exact moment the man in the hoodie turned around, only he didn't have a face, no eyes, no mouth, just smooth, pale skin where features should be. I blinked, and the feed cut to static. I scrambled to switch cameras, rewound the footage, but the man was gone, and the recording corrupted. Every frame that showed him was distorted, like static tearing through the image. The next day, I pulled the footage from the backup server. Nothing. Like it had been erased completely. No one believed me. Not Rick, not management. They told me to get some sleep. Fine. I tried to forget it, until it happened again. Different night, same time. 3:12 a.m., this time on camera 11. Facing the electronics section, the same man, hoodie, back turned, motionless. I didn't call anyone. I just watched. And then he turned his head, not all the way, just slightly, toward the camera. No face, but somehow I could feel him staring. I turned the monitor off. Over the next few weeks, he appeared on different cameras, always after 3 a.m., always standing still, always with his back turned until I noticed him. And each time, when he turned, his faceless head seemed to be looking directly at me. The weirdest part, he only appeared when I was watching. Other employees never saw him. No one else's shift overlapped with those sightings. It was like he knew I was there. Last week I tried something different. I stayed home, called in sick. No sightings that night. But the next night I came back, and there he was, on camera 5, pointed at the employee break room door, the door I'd just walked through moments before. I stared at the monitor, heart pounding. He was standing outside the security room. In real time, I spun around. No one, but when I turned back to the monitor, he was closer. Not in the hallway anymore. He was inside the room. Behind me. I whipped around, but there was nothing. The feed went black. I told my boss I was done. I quit on the spot, packed up my locker and left town the same day. Moved in with my sister in Ohio. But last night, at exactly 3:12 a.m., I turned on the TV in the guest room, just static, and then, only for a second, I saw him, faceless, watching me. He's not in Walmart anymore. He's in the Signal, and he knows where I am. I used to work at a Walmart in a small town outside of Tucson. Nothing special about it, just your average store, a little rundown, always short-staffed but functional. I was hired as a floor associate, mostly working the clothing section. That place always felt off, especially in the fitting rooms. At first, I didn't think much of it. A lot of coworkers joked about it being haunted or cursed. You know how retail employees are. People will say anything to kill time. But then, weird things started happening. It started with a woman who came in one night right before closing. She was tall, thin, dressed like she came from a different decade. Long skirt, pale blue blouse, dark hair pulled back so tight it looked painful. Her face was wrong somehow. Not disfigured, just too smooth, too still, like a wax figure that learned how to blink. She walked in holding 3 dresses. I remember because she didn't say a word, just handed them to me at the fitting room entrance and stared. No smile, no greeting, just stared. I unlocked door number 3 and let her in. 15 minutes passed, then 20. Eventually, I knocked. "Ma'am, we're about to close." No answer. I knocked again. Nothing. So I used the master key and slowly opened the door. The room was empty. Not just empty, spotless. No clothes, no hangers, no sign anyone had been there at all. I checked the other stalls. Nothing. I thought maybe I was losing it. I asked the security guard to check the cameras, but when we reviewed the footage, she wasn't there. You can see me standing alone at the fitting room entrance, unlocking the door, holding it open for no one. Even weirder, you can see me pause like I'm talking to her, like I'm looking at someone standing in front of me. I tried to laugh it off. Maybe I was overworked, sleep deprived, but after that night it got worse. A week later, a teenage girl went into the fitting room with her mom. I was at the register in the clothing section, folding shirts, when I heard a scream, sharp and panicked. The mother was standing outside the stalls, pale as a ghost. Her daughter was gone, vanished. We searched everywhere, locked the store down. Police came. Cameras showed her entering the stall. She never came back out. They blamed the security system. "Camera blind spots," they said, but there's no blind spot in the fitting room hallway. You can see the mom standing there. You can see the stall door, and you can see the moment she turns and realizes her daughter isn't there anymore. That girl was never found. That's when the whispers started. Employees talked about a back room, a space behind the fitting rooms that didn't show up on blueprints. A few said they'd heard footsteps behind the wall or whispering through the vents when no one else was around. One guy even quit mid-shift, said he heard someone call his name from the stall, but no one was in there. The final straw for me, it happened on a closing shift. I was alone in the fitting room area, finishing up tags and returns. I heard a soft knock from one of the stalls. It was gentle, 3 slow taps. I thought maybe someone got locked in, so I walked over. "Hello?" I said. No answer. I opened the door. Empty. Then I heard it again. Tap, tap, tap from the next stall. I opened it. Empty. By the time I got to the 3rd stall, I was shaking. I slowly turned the handle and pulled the door open. And there she was. The same woman. Same clothes. Same dead eyes. Only this time, she smiled. Not with her mouth, with her eyes. Like she knew something I didn't. She raised a finger and pointed behind me. I turned around, and all the stall doors slammed shut at once. I don't remember much after that, just the sound of screaming, mine, and the sensation of falling even though I wasn't moving. When I came to, I was outside the fitting rooms, curled up on the floor, surrounded by 3 managers and an EMT. They said I fainted, heat stroke, low blood sugar, stress, but they didn't explain how I got out of the locked room, or why I had a hanger in my hand that didn't belong to our inventory. I quit the next day. No notice, just walked out and never looked back. But sometimes, when I'm walking past stores or trying on clothes at a mall, I hear it again. Tap, tap, tap. And I wonder how many people are still in that room and how many never left. They say retail changes you. I used to laugh at that. Figured it meant stress, bad pay, weird customers. But after working the closing shift at Walmart for 2 years, I get it. It changes how you look at people, how you trust silence, how you feel in a room when the lights flicker. Let me tell you about the night I stopped closing forever. It was a Thursday, nothing unusual about it. I was scheduled until midnight. I was assigned to clean up the front end, registers, customer service, and the little indoor McDonald's that's been temporarily closed for like 2 years now. By 11:30, everything was winding down. Only a couple customers lingered, mostly browsing clearance. I helped an older man find batteries and told another woman we were closing soon. She didn't respond, just walked off toward the auto section. Weird, but whatever. People are rude. At 11:45, we locked the front doors. Standard procedure. No more customers in. Time to clean up and count registers. That's when things got weird. The lights near the back of the store dimmed for a moment, just a flicker, but enough to catch my attention. The power in that store is glitchy, especially when it storms, but it was a clear night. I radioed maintenance. No response. Then I saw her again, the woman from earlier, the one who ignored me. She was standing in the frozen food aisle, just standing, not moving. No cart, no bag, arms at her sides, staring at the freezers like she was in a trance. "Ma'am," I called out. "We're closed. Do you need help finding something?" No response. I walked toward her, but the second I stepped into the aisle, she was gone. Just gone, like she slipped between frames. I called out again. Nothing. I checked behind the end caps. I even checked the bathrooms. No sign of her. Maybe she left before we locked the doors. Maybe she slipped past while I wasn't looking. That's what I told myself. I went back to the front to finish closing, but my register screen still logged in. It was frozen, blinking. A single message looped on the screen. "Do not lock the doors." I tried exiting out. The screen wouldn't respond. Then the intercom crackled. Not the usual chime, just static, then a soft voice, female, barely above a whisper. "I'm still in here." My stomach dropped. I turned around and scanned the store. It was quiet. Way too quiet. I radioed again. "Security? Anyone in the store still?" No answer. I tried to call my manager's cell, straight to voicemail. I walked back toward the customer service desk, thinking maybe someone was playing a prank. But when I rounded the corner, every register light was off, except one. Register 6. I walked slowly up to it. On the belt was a single item, a name tag. Mine. But it was bent, broken, like someone had snapped it in half. I backed away. I'm not proud, but I was full-on panicking. Then all the lights went out, pitch black, and I swear to God I heard footsteps sprinting across the tile. Not walking, sprinting, fast and wild, like something charging at me in the dark. I ducked behind the counter and held my breath. The footsteps stopped, right next to me. Then a whisper, right in my ear. "I told you, we're not closed yet." I don't remember much after that. The morning manager found me curled up behind the service desk. Lights were on. Nothing was out of place. No sign of the woman. No broken name tag. No message on the register screen. But here's what still eats at me. When I got home, I checked my phone. I had a voicemail. It was garbled static, followed by my own voice whispering, "I'm still in here."